Welcome back. The Office of the Media Ombudsman is committed to improving public conversations as we approach the November 27th presidential and National Assembly elections. The primary focus is on promoting media literacy and tackling disinformation through regular monthly media monitoring reports. These reports aim to highlight how crucial it is to foster informed discussions around the elections, while also stressing the role media plays in shaping public perception and understanding. Dr. John Nakuta now joins us this evening for the conversation. Doctor, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I want to get straight into it and talk about some of the key findings from this latest report and perhaps what trends you've noticed so far.
Yeah, interesting trends. Not very different, but also certainly there we observe some changes. In the last report, we've indicated that the ruling party, SWAPO, received close to 50% of the national reporting during that period. Remember, we are reporting on a monthly basis. Mm-hmm. For the first month, we've reported from the 20th of June until the 20th of July.
Okay.
And then the second month is from the 20th of July until the 20th of August. Okay. So whereas the SWAPO party received a lot of coverage, close to 50%, we've seen now it was about 40 something, but now it is in the 30s, in the upper 30s. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So there's a reduction. What we've also seen is that the political parties, mm-hmm. last time we've reported that during the first reporting period, that the opposition parties, opposition parties were not that much active.
Right.
It was more reactive in whatever, both from the side of the media and what we see, there's much more political reporting on opposition parties. For example, I've checked, last time they stood just close to 49, 48%. Mm-hmm. Or somewhere in the 50s, but right. Now it's in the 60s.
Awesome.
So there's at least a 10% increase mm-hmm. that we've observed. Mm-hmm. Also, in terms of the SWAPO remains still the political party, of course, is in government, mm-hmm. And it's the ruling party, and it is still remaining or getting the highest share of the reporting, mm-hmm. and still again mainly from state-owned media, mm-hmm. like the NBC and New Era, mm-hmm. and the picture is also basically the same for the LPM, still receiving the same kind of reportage, again also mainly from the state-owned media, mm-hmm. and whereas NEF, the NEFF,
right.
Was in last reporting the second highest reported opposition party. Now this time around it is the PDM, and AR, NUDO, and I think even LPM, mm-hmm. they share the same kind of coverage, around 8% mm-hmm. during the second period of mm-hmm. reporting. It's really a very exciting project
yes.
that we've engaged upon.
Fantastic. Yeah. How do you see these reports influencing the quality of public discussions leading up to the elections, Dr. Nakuta?
Actually, that is, I'm so glad for the first report that came out. Of course, I'm sure we all have read, and I was shocked when I read the editorial of the New Era after we've launched this. Very scathing, mm-hmm. so much so that I invited Jonathan, the editor, out Sunday and said, Jonathan, let us sit here, mm-hmm. Because I read the editorial, and but that is the kind of debate that we're talking about.
Right.
And through coffee, over an hour, we spoke about this, and I clarified. And I've seen also the kind of coverage that we've received both on national television, both private and state-owned, mm-hmm. as well as in the newspapers, mm-hmm. Radio shows and whatever. And people are really talking. Someone actually called me, said, saw in the SMS about this project and said, this person called me and said, oh, you guys are busy with good work. So that is the kind of discussions.
Right.
And again, I want to repeat what I said last time. This is not a policing exercise. The idea is to self-reflect and self-correct. And it is too early to tell, but we are beginning to see. We can see some positive, I won't say trends, it's too early probably to speak about trends.
Right.
But we see that it seems that someone is hearing us, or from the first report. For example, this morning when we launched the report, the room was packed. And I remember for the first, we were so discouraged almost. We said, come on, where's the media?
Right.
But today, there was everyone seems to hear where it's like, and it's fine.
I agree
because
with
it gets
you.
the nation talking.
I think it's definitely a report that we're going to be keeping our eyes on until, up to elections. I want to ask how, everyday citizens can engage with these reports to become more informed voters. It's
a very good question, Nina. Thank you very much. Next week, Tuesday, the commitment is, for example, with the Namibian Sun, as part of their contribution, to publish the fact sheet on the first monthly report that we're having. We can try and summarize it and condense it into a full page fact sheet about what we found.
Right.
And the same we will do with the second report, hopefully the week thereafter. And as you said very nicely, and I actually like your intro, saying that the Office of the Media Ombudsman is committed to improving public conversation, and that is really what this project is all about. And so this is how we're doing it. And of course, we've got a media visibility team that is working behind the scenes, trying to make conversations for TikTok and all the other social media pages, so that the nation can really begin to talk. Right. And then lastly, with reference to that, the big narrative reports for both the first monthly report. What we've done today, maybe just to clarify also, what we are doing, like with the exercise of today, is to publicly release the report. But on the back side of it, we've got a 40-page narrative report, which we are now just all still editing and whatever. But we've made a commitment today with the editors that next week, Friday, the idea, because of there's so much confusion in terms of what are you really doing and how are you doing it, your methodology and whatever. So next week, Friday, we are having what we call an engagement session with the editors to explain to them. And so because this is public information, and it would be available after that session also, and as of next week also available on our Facebook page. Fantastic. So people can engage with the report. Awesome.
Just briefly, your final remarks this evening, Doctor?
No, I'm so happy for the support that we are receiving from the general public. To be very honest, yesterday, very surprisingly, there's an organization based in Pretoria called me. They've been told through diplomatic circles about this project, and they offered 150,000 Namibian dollars to become part of this, because they are involved in this kind of work and they see this, the possibility of post-electoral engagement and work. So this thing is well received, even from beyond our borders.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Well, Doctor, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to speaking to you next month on the next report.
John is my name. That's fine. Doctors is for other people. Thank you, Nina.
That was the Media Ombudsman, Dr. John Akuta, speaking to us there. We'll be back with more conversation after this. Stay with us.
Thanks, Nina.